Hi everyone, welcome to Berlin meetup. We're exploring the edges of photography. My name is Per Zenström. I'm a fashion photographer, but I'm also here as the creative director of theLAB-berlin. We're a creative digital agency based in Berlin. We build digital luxury. Today's topic is SEO, what works. My goal with this presentation is to give you actionable knowledge that I want you to take action with. Take it back home and implement it right away. So really quickly, I just wanted to show you some of my fashion images, since this actually matters a bit for the presentation. You need to understand where I'm coming from. As you can see, I'm a loud fashion photographer. So really quickly, what is search engine optimization, or SEO? Well, SEO is about getting traffic to your site via search, and I want to underline the word search again. It's about getting traffic to your website from people searching for certain keywords or search terms. There's a hard technical aspect of SEO. It's about the stuff that you do on your page or off the page. But it's also very much about a softer side. It's about your users' experience on your site and the site's relevance to what they're searching for. It's soft power. And this is very important. You need to build a website that gives users value that they want to come back to over and over again. Google likes that, and that's what we need to keep in mind. So why does my website need SEO? Simple. Traffic. You want to get traffic to your website. Traffic means potential customers. You want to get free traffic, you want to have long-term traffic, and you want to have targeted traffic. And SEO can do all of this if you play your cards right. So once again, traffic means potential clients coming to your site. And the majority of all the web traffic is driven by search through the major commercial search engines. Google has 68%, I believe, in the US, and maybe even up to 80% worldwide. You have Bing and Yahoo. These are the search engines, and they drive the majority of the web traffic. So once again, the search engines, they're kind of unique in that they give you free traffic, very long-term traffic, and very targeted traffic. People are typing in search terms in their search box, and if you are targeting those keywords, they might possibly find you if you rank high. So this means that the search queries or the search terms, simply put, what people are typing in when they're searching for something, carry extraordinary value. You really need to take a very close and hard look at what your core value proposition is. What are you actually selling? What is your service? The core of that. You need to know your why, you need to know your how, and you need to know your what. And we'll talk more about that a little bit later. So what's the number one thing to do to improve your SEO? And I want to take a step back before I answer that and stress that SEO, it's not just something that you slap on top of something, or it's not just painting the front door red or green or blue. It's about taking a very holistic approach. SEO is just a small piece of puzzle in a much broader marketing scheme. SEO needs to be integrated into everything you do, the marketing services and the products that you build. I also want to take a look at SEO from an effectiveness of productivity standpoint. Basically, we all want to get the big bang for the buck. We want to pick the low-hanging fruit. We want to do stuff that are effective. We don't want to waste our time. So stuff that will give us a lot of value quickly with little effort or money. That's the low-hanging fruit, and we're going to go for that. And as always, as storytellers, as photographers, we need to provide extraordinary value. We need to over-deliver constantly. So what's the number one thing to do? And again, here we go. Backlinks. Backlinks are still, I would dare to say, the most important factor in SEO. If you have backlinks from sites to your own site, that is really, really valuable, and you will rank high. So I want to stress the word earning backlinks. It's not about building backlinks. It's not about buying backlinks. It's not about getting backlinks. Basically, you have to earn them. And you have to look at that from the perspective of providing value. You need to earn your backlinks. There's two aspects of this. There's a short-term aspect and there's a long-term aspect. Let's take a look at the short-term aspect first. We want to pick the low-hanging fruit. So, and that's why I'm gonna teach you how to turn unlinked mentions into backlinks. And if you take a moment to reflect on this, you'll understand the value of this. Unlinked mentions out there already on the web carry extraordinary value because they can be turned into backlinks, and they're there already. It's not so much work. You just have to find them, and then you have to ask the publisher to turn them into a backlink. So the long-term value, the long-term aspect of earning backlinks is to give value by blogging or by publishing great content that people eventually will link back to your site from. So what makes a backlink valuable? There's a lot of factors. Global popularity, the local topic specific popularity or relevance, the anchor text, the trust rank, the link neighborhood, the freshness, and social sharing. There's of course not millions, but like lots of other signals that determine the value of a backlink, but most people would agree that these are the main ones. The most important aspect of a backlink nowadays is naturalness. Google will not let you get away with sort of buying link farming, buying backlinks, buying social signals. It's all about organic growth of backlinks. I want to take a moment to reconnect to the why, how, what, and I really encourage you to take a look at this video that I'm going to show you a link to in a moment by Simon Sinek. You need to know why you do what you do, and I'm talking about the deep why. You need to do how do you do what you do, and you need to know what you do. Most of us, we know the what, we know what we do, but a very few of us actually know the deep why we do what we do. And I encourage you to think about this for a moment. And here you go, here's a video. I'm not going to run it now, but you can do it later on if you want. So let's take a look at this other, the keywords and the search terms, which again are incredibly important. Here is a listing of the search terms that I'm trying to rank for, and I have listed them in order of importance in monthly searches. On top you have the searches that have a lot of traffic or have a lot of searches. For example, the term fashion photography has 27,000 searches per month, and the search term editorial fashion photographer has 10 searches per month. So well, it's not just like it's not just as easy as you want to rank for the one with the highest number of searches, because it might not be relevant for you. So here you have to be smart. You have to take a moment to go through this and sort of like weigh pros and cons. The green ones are the ones I'm doing really good for. I'm on number 1, 2, and 3. The blue ones are the ones where I'm doing okay. I can do better. I'm working on it. And the black ones are where I'm kind of like I'm buried somewhere. So for example, fashion photography, I'm number 6 there, 5 or 6. Creative photography, 44, boohoo. Fashion photographer, 2 or 3, and so on and so on and so on. I just wanted to give you a glimpse of my keywords. Here's page 1, Google. The term is fashion photography on number 6. Page 1 again, Google for fashion photographer on number 3. Modern fashion photographer, Google page 1. 1 there. I'm not counting the Google results really. creative fashion photographer, number 1, and yeah, and so on and so on. So very, very important. You need to make your decisions about what you're going to do based on data. And there are 2 really great free tools, Google Analytics and Google AdWords, and I encourage you to take a look at them. For example, here's I'm going to show you a few pages now, just to quickly tell you what you actually can learn by using using data. Here, for example, is a pie chart of where does my traffic to my website come from, and as you can see, the blue slice is the biggest. That's the organic search. That's SEO. That's people typing in certain search terms and they're finding my site. So about 44% of my traffic comes through SEO. The green one is direct. It means people who know me already, they just type it in or it's a bookmark. And the red one is about 23%. Those are referrals. Those are links out there on the web, linking back to me from other websites. Social takes up a quite small piece, and I will, divert a lot of my attention from social to other areas now, because I think you need to do what works. I'm not dissing social. I'm just saying I can probably spend my time a little bit better than that. Here's another interesting chart. It's about how the number of domains linking back to my site in yellow and the number of pages linking back to my site in blue. And as you can see, they sort of like there's an upwards trend on the yellow and there's sort of like a slight downward trend on the blue. I'm happy to say that the yellow one is more important. More domains, more and more domains are linking back to my site, and that's really, really good. The break there in the blue was probably when I went from a hosted web solution to a self-hosted WordPress solution. And as you can see, it was a sharp drop off in pages, and I'm sort of like recovering from that. Data again. This is Google AdWords. I put in the search terms Berlin Photograph and Berlin Photographie. And as you can see, there's about 350 searches per month for those terms. So you need to be smart about these things. You need to weigh the pros and cons. Are these search terms relevant? Are they worth going for? Etc. etc. And only data can tell you this. Google Analytics, audience overview, will tell you a little bit more about my audience. You can drill into almost anything and get really, really detailed data on almost anything. Interesting here is fashion photography blog is my big competitor for the keyword fashion photography. They're number 1, and as you can see, Alexa is telling me that we both had kind of like a similar experience. Since August of 14, there was a kind of like a very steep decline, and as beginning of the year, both sites are kind of like recovering. I'm the light blue line, and my big competitor is the darker bluer line, and it's quite similar, the charts, I would say. And here another tool, the Moss bar will tell me that a fashion photography blog has a domain authority of 47, and here's my domain. My domain authority is 34. So they have a higher domain authority than I, and that's probably why they rank a lot higher. I want to talk about the long tail versus short tail keywords a bit. This is very important. You want to, at least in the beginning, go for the long tail keywords. A very broad keyword like photographer, obviously it has a very high search volume. A lot of people are searching for photographer, but it has a high cost, both in time and money, if you want to buy ads to rank for that. And the conversion is very low, or low, compared to longer tail keywords. It's too broad, it's not specific enough, and a lot of people actually, the conversion rate is low. compare that to a long tail keyword. So in my case here, it would be, for example, Berlin fashion photographer. The search volume is lower than photographer, obviously, but it means also the cost to rank for this keyword is lower or much lower, both in time and effort, and also possibly in buying ads. And the conversion is much higher because the keyword is more relevant if you go for relevant keywords, which you have to go for. So that's why I'm saying go for the long tail keywords at least first, and then as you move up in rankings, you can start aiming for the the higher yielding ones. So what's the number one thing to do? We want to turn mentions into backlinks for free, like I mentioned earlier. And there's two steps to this process. First, we need to find those mentions out there on the web, and then we need to contact the publisher and ask this publisher to turn those unlinked mentions into a backlink to our site. So there are, luckily enough for us, there are a few tools out there where you can find those unlinked mentions, and these three are all free. There's something called RankTank unlinked mentions. There's Ahrefs Alerts for the unlinked mentions, and there's good old Google Alerts where you will keep an eye out for mentions of your name or your brand name. So let's go through them. RankTank looks like this. It's a free tool. It's a little bit buggy, but the real beauty of this is that it returns results super quick. 1 or 2 minutes. You'll have a long list of pages to check out to see if there's a link or not. Here's an example of my work with it, and obviously you want to go for the red ones. Those are, according to RankTank, mentions of my name or my brand without a link. Like I said earlier, it's a little bit buggy, so you have to take this with a grain of salt. But the beauty again is the incredible speed. You will have 50, 60 things to check out right away. So I want you to do all three. Okay, let's move on to the next one. Ahrefs Alerts, very powerful. Basically, it's an alert. You set up a few alerts for the keywords or the brand names or the names you want to keep track of, and Ahrefs gonna sort of like scour the web, and whenever they find an unlinked mention of your name or your brand name, they will give you an alert. And here's an example of an alert that came to me a few days ago. Unfortunately, there was nothing really I could do with this, because it was one of those sites where curated sites where there's no editors, and there was no point of me going after this unlinked mention. Then again, Google Alerts, and even if you don't have SEO in mind, you should have Google Alerts out for your name, your brand, or if there are certain keywords that interest you. Keep having a Google Alerts going on. It's really useful. Okay, so step number 2 then. We have now we have a system for finding the mentions. Now we just need to contact the publisher. And here's a screenshot of kind of like a 2-week back and forth via email with me and a major world-class institution who actually used a image of mine on their blog with my name but not a link back. And after 2 weeks of emails going back and forth, they actually agreed to a linking back to me. So again, you need to kind of like choose your wars. You need to sort of like make a decision. Is this really worth going after or not? In this case, it was totally worth it for me. I mean, getting paid 200-300 euros or whatever for a thumbnail size image, or getting a backlink from this institution, of course it's a no-brainer. You take the link. So now there's time for some homework for you guys. I want you to take a look at the video from by Simon Sinek, and I want you to start thinking about your own deep why. And this is probably the most important thing you can ever do for yourself and your business, I dare to say. My own why, it took me about 10 years maybe to find out. And I have to say, it has straightened up, it has helped me quite a lot. I want you then to create a list of 10 to 20 keywords or keyword phrases. And again here, the key here is relevance. Those keywords they need to be very, very relevant. They need to accurately describe what you are offering or what you're all about. Very, very important. Number 3, then I want to start turning your mentions into backlinks, your unlinked mentions into backlinks, via the 2-step method I showed you just earlier here. Okay, there are tools out there, and here are some free SEO and marketing resources. First of all, if you want to read up more on SEO, there's some really great articles. Moz have a great series of articles called Learn SEO, which you will find here. The Moz bar is very useful. Ahrefs Alerts, which I talked about, the Google Alerts. HubSpot Marketing Grader, a great tool to get a much broader picture of your marketing efforts and your site. The Marketing Grader is not about just SEO, it's about much more, and it's really worth taking that for a spin. You'll be surprised. Then we have RankTank, and then the link to the video. If you want to connect with me, here are some links and where you can find me on social media. And that's actually it. I would like to thank you very much for sitting through this video, and hope to see you soon again. Thank you. Bye.